Okay, ordinary angels. um, Thoughts on it, huh? Well, first thought, I liked it. I liked that film. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it. It was cold in the theater though. For some reason, this particular theater 13, the room 13. Oof, it's cold in there. Once I came out into the lobby right after it's done, I'm like, oh, it feels okay, the temperature. But in the theater, gosh, it's cold. Okay, yeah, so I liked it. It was a nice film. It's touching. It's a touching film, and then I guess maybe it's dramatized, right, when he's driving to like the something creek, right? Something creek road that he's going down it, and that, like, the highways are being closed up. This one was open, but then it gets closed, and he gets there, he finds it's closed, and he's like, okay, well, let's take this back street, because I know that back street, because he's from the area, right? He's from Louisville. And so he says, yeah, I'll do that. I'll take this back street and I'll go around. And it's gated, but then he breaks the gate and he goes up. But then of course there's a tree. There's like always an obstacle. There's always something. And we're getting close to like his the cutoff, right, to get to the hospital. Because I think it's 6 hours, but he only got 2 hours really to get her there or something like that. And so yeah, we see that in the film, right? We see that, what's it called? What was I thinking of in my head? In the movie, we see, he gets to the phone box phone. I think so. I said phone box or box phone, something like that. Which I guess they used to have these on the side of the highway. But yeah, he sees that and he's gonna go up to the box, the dial to call the doctor at the, what was it, Armstrong or Albertson, something like that. Children's Hospital, sorry. Right, to tell the doctor that, hey, we're not going to be able to make it. No, you can cancel it out, I guess. And he tells the daughter, like, we're not going on a plane. And he says, no, we're not going to go on a plane. We're going to, I guess maybe the helicopter maybe took him to the airport and then they got on a plane from there, I'm guessing. Because the thing with it, he's got to drive to the airport to get the plane to then fly to Omaha, the children's hospital there, where they specialize in this surgery, the transplant that she needs. Which, there we go. I'll put the air more down now. And so, how do you call? Yeah, that's what the doctor says. I mean, you see this in the trailer, right? When he says, "How are you supposed to get a plane, doc? How do you expect us to get a plane?" It's because and she gets bumped up to number 1. So he got some things going for him, right? She was like number 6 on the waiting list, and she got moved to number 1. But yeah, you got to get there in time, because then if she doesn't make it to the transplant, then the liver goes to the next family, the next person that needs it, right? And Sharon. And it's nice that at the end of the film they show us the real pictures, because it says it's based on a true story, right? So I'm guessing the news footage is on. I mean, you can find it on YouTube. I'll definitely look to see if I can find it on YouTube. Ordinary Angels. Cause they showed a clip at the very end, and the clip they showed at the end was it was the news footage from when they cleared out the space at the church, the parking lot of the church, so the helicopter can land and actually pick up Michelle, right? And it's funny because, well, in the movie it happens at nighttime, right? I guess for dramatic effect, but in the news footage it's like clearly day. And so I'm curious, maybe if he was really like resenting Sharon for helping the family, and that there was a moment where she did drink in his house. Right, she relapses, she drinks in his house, and he said, listen, you can't come back to the house again, okay, because you just did this shit, so you can't come back to the house again after doing this. Come on. It's all good though. It's all good. She actually relapses drinking before this scene even. I think it's after she meets her son, or she goes to see him, because he still lives in the area, right? He's not gone. He still lives within the Louisville area, but they're estranged. The father, I think the father is Isaiah, is his name, and he mentions that the dad, or his father, that he didn't have what was it called, foresight. Like he had a plan. Like I like how she puts it too. He had a plan of his life, what he wanted, and it didn't include us. And so lo and behold, we were out of the picture, which is me and him. I was raising him alone, single mom, and because she says I'm married real young, and so we get that little backstory from Sharon, which I guess is true, right? You get this little backstory about Sharon, because even I don't even remember what the dad's name was, but even he mentions that you don't talk much. We don't know much about you. And she says, oh, I don't really like talking about me. I like to talk, but not about me. I don't really talk about me. It's and then what's it called in the film? The dad says, yeah, me, same here. We have that. We're the same in that way. Yeah, I don't like to talk about me either. That was cute little scene. This is when they went the roller skating, right? Because he's working, and Michelle helps him with this job plan. He goes to suit and tie. He's got the paper. She looks at it. This is terrible. Nah, we got to print. So she's good at this, making the flyers or pamphlets. And so she makes him one. She said, this is what you got to use. You got to go there. And he's even, and you can see the difference, like how to communication. He's not good with talking to people or like communicating himself, right? Advertising himself, right? He's not good at this. And then Sharon, she steps in and she nails it down. That's the way we're going to do. Boom, boom, boom. This is how we're going to do it. We see that he's working into the night, the fodder, right, to pay the bills and stuff. And I think at one point the medical bills get erased. And he says, like, Michelle, hey, you got to, not Michelle, Sharon. He says to Sharon, like, she's got to go now. Like, your help has been great. It's been appreciated, but you got to go now. We don't need your help anymore. And Sharon brings up a good point, which is, this is before the liver transplant has happened, and she kind of tells him, like, sets it straight with him. It's you should have just boot me out. You shouldn't just boot me out like that quick out of it, because you still got this transplant that you have to do, and it's gonna cost you. It's gonna cost a good sum of money with this transplant. So, like, we still gotta, the fundraising don't stop. And don't stop even then, because we still gotta, after she gets this medicine thing, she still gotta you still gotta pay for that too, right? I might have erased these medical bills, but I still got this one, right? And I like how the film starts out, right? We start out with Sharon first. We start out with the dad first. We start out with what happened with him, right? The wife died. It's 5 years after the birth of Michelle that the wife dies. And she has, like, the daughter has some sort of medical condition that's only curable by a liver transplant, right? Without a liver transplant, it's a done deal. It's not something that you can cure right off the bat. What's it called? Sharon, I think she sees it in the paper. That's what it was. We see Sharon, her friend tells her, like, I guess they go out often, and then this day that they went out, she saw how belligerent drunk she was. And we see it, like, when she's dancing on the table all crazy, and her friend's there, and she's, like, embarrassed for her, or she's like, oh my god. And so she takes her, like, I guess back to her house. She tells her, like, this is it, like, you have to stop this. I'm gonna be a good friend. She puts her foot down and says, why are you doing this to me, right? So Sharon says, oh, why are you doing this to me? Why are you being difficult? And she tells her, I'm being a good friend right now. That's what I'm doing. What I'm doing here, putting my foot down like this, I'm being a good friend, and I'm setting the record straight. We gotta change this up. We can't continue to do this shit, right? Gotta change it up here. And she puts her in the Alcohol Anonymous meeting. She drops her off there, actually. She says that I dropped her off there. So she had to attend it, huh? And when she's there, there's a guy talking. The gentleman, he mentions that, you gotta find something that's bigger than you. To remind you why you need to stop doing this, get control over your life, because I need to be here for something or do something more, right? And so that really resonates with Sharon. It really does it? And to the point where even her friend says, like, this is getting a bit much. Like you're draining your savings account for these people. You're constantly doing these fundraising events for them. You're going back and forth, like, because she really did, what do you call, dedicates her life to saving Michelle. Not just saving Michelle, but also getting his financials in order. And she even comes to the dad's house, right? She even comes to his house to say, oh my God, I don't even remember what his name was. But he even comes to his house to tell him, like, come on, let's actually organize your bill, because you're probably all over the place, and you're not really keeping track of what you need to pay. Well, what's urgent, what's important, and what maybe can wait. We can put these off for a bit. And there's another contention in the film, right, of like the house. Sharon even finds a house that's cheaper. She says, hey, if you sell this house, you get this much money back, and that money can go towards Michelle, your bills. Like, it's this money that you need right now, and if you sell this house, you can flip it off. You can flip it the other way and make a smarter decision here. And he tells her no. He's very adamant about not selling the house, and we know why, because it's the last thing that really he has with her, right? Teresa, I think that was the wife's name. It's he even said, like, it's not even just Teresa, it's also his father. He mentioned that his father built this home that he now lives in. His father built it, and then he had the wife, he got the kids, right? So he has it moves over to, like, now this is the house not my father built, but I have my family raised in. And the one daughter is 9, I think. 9 or 8. 5, 6, 7. 6, 7, 8. Yeah, one daughter is 8. The other is 5. And he's like, I don't want to sell the home, give up the home that my daughters were raised in, right? So it's but he doesn't. And then I guess it's a good happy ending on that front, because he never has to. 337, I think, was the house number. 337, house 337 in Louisville. Because I think we're in and around Louisville, pretty much. He doesn't have to sell this house. So that was a nice little nod there. And at the end of the film, they even show, like, the real Michelle, right? And I'm guessing, I don't even remember what the other girl was named. The 9-year-old, right? Her older sister. And because the movie's focused on Michelle, right? So we don't get any update on the older sister, like if she got married, walked down the aisle. But we know Michelle did. That how do you call it? The father even walked her down the aisle, right? And married her off, right? And walked her down the aisle after she graduated. I think she graduated 2014. She graduated from college, and then a year after that, she got married. And that's the latest, all right, the most recent update we get, right, with the story there of the real people. And we also get the excerpt that Sharon Stu shows up to all the family events, anything with the family going on. She's still showing up in a sparkly red dress, right? She's still, like, flamboyant, and as well as that her the father and her, they remain friends even to this day. And they show a picture of them together, and it is a sweet picture of them together. It's a cute picture. It's this film, I liked it. I like that the grandma is, she takes up to Sharon, and she kind of befriends her. And so when that news segment scene came on, and he's, like, pissed. He's like, what the fuck? Get these people out of my house. Like, I don't want any of these cameras, none of this bullshit. Fucking, what do you call? Grandma's just like, oh, come on. The girls were so excited to be on TV. I like when he comes home with the groceries, and she makes, like, stroganoff, something like that. And she's telling her son, like, oh, did you get the egg noodles? I made the stroganoff. All I need were the noodles. Did you get the noodles? And she's kind of, complaining about, oh, how can you forget? I had a list. And he just, he snaps. He's under pressure. He's stressed out. He snaps at that, and he walks up the stairs. And she just comes, like, I guess she said, well, I got to hold myself together here. He's under a lot of pressure. So she just comes, and she just sits with him. Says, hey, do you remember, like, your faith? Like, don't lose your faith. It's not overly preachy with the Christian stuff. No. It's, I guess, the daughter tells him, like, hey, how come we don't talk to God anymore? So I guess they were maybe more religiously devoted. It's, it seems like maybe they haven't gone to church in a while until the scene where they show up to the church. It's, I think it's like a Catholic church. So I guess they're Catholic. The pastor in the stand, he sees Ed and he's like, whoa, welcome back, Ed, it's nice to have you again. So it kind of hints that, it's been a while since they've been within the congregation. Let's get the air cooler so the phone doesn't overheat. It's it's a touching movie. It's a nice movie. Ordinary Angels. It is nice that he finally he says to Sharon, right, whatever doubt you have in your head, squash it, because you really are a miracle. And she is. Like, she really works her magic well. It's phenomenal how she works it. The voice is getting too hot. Let's wrap it up here. I also like that she finally says thank you to her, which is something that he didn't tell her before, and it needed to be said, right? Because she really came through, like, big time for him, really. So yeah, Ordinary Angels. I liked it. I'll give it 4 stars. Maybe even 5. I like this movie. It was a touching movie, heartfelt movie. It's exactly what I thought it was gonna be. Right? It didn't exceed his expectations. It just met them just right. It's exactly what I was expecting the movie would to be, and I enjoyed it thoroughly throughout. So thoughts on Ordinary Angels. Thank you for listening.